Hello and welcome. For this video assignment, I'll be taking my level 33 Dwarven Runekeeper Skodgar Firebelly through the solo retake Weathertop quest. As I've previously done it before on my own, I'll be restarting the quest via the Reflecting Pool in Osgurus. This particular quest takes place after Frodo and company had their encounter with the Nazgul in Amon Sul. In the wake of their passing, orcs from the south have fortified the area in an attempt to establish a presence in the north. Our quest is to remove the orcs from the hill and retake Weathertop. We are accompanied on our quest by the ranger Candace, whose presence bears a passing resemblance to Strider accompanying Frodo and the hobbits on their own journey to the top. We are immediately beset by orcs as soon as we begin our quest. Unlike the novel and film, which emphasize the need for stealth and caution, our approach in the game is much more on the loud and violent side. One will notice immediately that despite it being daylight out when I enter the Reflecting Pool, the quest takes place at night. There is no reason why we cannot remove the orcs during the day, but by placing the quest at night, the designers are bringing the experience of the instance closer to that of both the novel and the film. In this part, I light a bonfire to attract the attention of some orcs up on the hill. Throughout the rest of the instance, we will come across torches and bonfires which we may light to help split a group of orcs into more manageable size. The use of fire in the game is a surprisingly poignant twist from the novel and the film, where the use of fire was discouraged in fear it would attract attention to the party. It is ironic now that fire becomes our ally, and attracting the enemy to us is exactly what we want. We have reached the point where Candace splits off from me, and we will continue our journey separately until we reach the summit. This is similar to the film where Strider leaves the hobbits to scout, only to return at the last moment to save them from the Nazgul attack. For newer players, the idea of proceeding alone on the quest would seem daunting, and there's a strong desire to reunite with Candace as soon as possible. This is something which the hobbits must have also felt when Strider left them to their own. Although this is somewhat a limitation of the game itself, it's also interesting to point out that in all our dialogue with Candace, we do not have any option of refusing him. Much like the hobbits had to rely on Strider to carry them through their journey, I must rely on Candace to continue mine. If I choose not to talk to him, I simply cannot carry on with my quest. As we continue on our journey to the top, one should take notice that the path to the top is quite wide enough to contain several tents full of orcs, with space to spare. This is opposed to what was depicted in the film and inferred from the novel, where the path to the top was narrow and steep. This is likely a concession by the game designers in order to ensure the game space was large enough for the player to not have to struggle with tight spaces while fighting. I have just defeated the first boss of the encounter, and am now lighting another torch in order to carry on forward. Once again, we see the use of fire here as a boon rather than something to be avoided, as without the fire, we cannot carry on with our quest. As we near the top, we finally reunite with Candace, who has been badly wounded and can no longer assist us in the quest. It is a striking role reversal from the novel and film, where it is the ranger who stops the threat at Amon Sul. The top is finally revealed to us, and our quarry is shown, the Uruk-hai leader, Rigel. One will immediately realize that the top of Amon Sul is depicted much like it was in the film, with broken stonework formed in a circular pattern, and no light to be found except from that of the moon. There is a great sense of dread, and new players may be intimidated by what they find here. Thankfully, I am grossly overleveled for this instance, and have no problems in that regard. As we watch the discussion that the orcs have in the center of the ruin, we see that Rigel intends to light a large bonfire in the center, most likely to signal other orcs in the surrounding areas that they have successfully taken Amon Sul. Fire has gone from being a foe to the novel and film, to a friend to our journey to the top, and finally now, back to a foe as we move into the final encounter. The fight with Rigel is probably the first fight which new players have to deal with multiple adds and summons. As he gets low on health, Rigel will summon additional orcs who will emerge from the shadows, and eventually the troll Olog Snaga. For new players, seeing an angry troll wielding a flaming club barreling down on them is probably almost as frightening as seeing a ring race, especially when having to deal with an angry mob of orcs alongside it. I know I certainly was surprised and terrified the first time I ran this encounter. This brings us to the end of the quest. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in game.